What is up, my interwebby type people? Welcome to Shareware, where we share the latest and greatest in technology, automotive, pop culture, and the world around us. My name, of course, is Joshua Hamilton, and if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you've been here for the other videos, then thank you so much. I know that it's typically tough to get a new channel off the ground, being as this is my fourth one, but I've only been doing it a couple months and already have a couple 100,000 views. So for that, I am ever grateful. For this video, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Typically, I talk about physical technology, you know, something that's tactile, you can actually hold on to. This time, we're talking about apps, but not just your run-of-the-mill boring apps, the ones that'll make it look like you're worth millions and millions of dollars. Now, the mobile app is relatively young, but it's advanced so far into our culture so quickly that we typically use it daily just to perform basic tasks in our busy schedules. Whether it's calendar, reminder related, food delivery related, transportation, or an infinite number of other possibilities, there truly is nearly an app for everything. And that includes using apps to live the life that most people could only dream of. Seriously, there is a way with just the touch of your finger you could be living like you were worth millions of dollars. And I'm gonna teach you how right now. Now, in order to live like a millionaire, what does every millionaire do in the morning? They wake up. And frankly, everyone does that, so it's not that spectacular. And I know that it can get annoying if the sun is shining through your blinds and you're not entirely ready to get up. But would it potentially soften the blow if, say, you were waking up in a $1.6 million apartment overlooking Central Park in New York? Seriously, guys, just by clicking one button on your smartphone, you can go to the app Airbnb, and for $150 a night, you can stay in a $1.6 million apartment overlooking Central Park and just a stone's throw away from Fifth Avenue, which, as most of you know, is some of the most expensive real estate in the nation. So now that you've woken up in your upwards of $1 million house and you look outside and you realize you can see Central Park and it's got you pretty pumped up, it's got you wanting to head downstairs and start shopping and hanging out, but you can't do that looking like a scrub. So it's a good thing you went to the boys over at 5-4 Club last month and spent the $60 for a monthly subscription to get fashion-forward clothing dropped at your doorstep, like it did just now. 5-4 Club has some of the most awesome fashion-forward clothing for men at about 50% price, which is pretty damn awesome. Now, they don't have an app right now technically, so you can't go to your smartphone, you'd have to go to a computer, but they are working on it. And it was just too good of a deal for me to not throw on here. Okay, so let's run this down again. You just left your $1 million apartment, you're looking like you just stepped out of a GQ magazine, so what's next? Coffee, right? But you're not gonna call a cab. You're being fake rich and cabs are for real poor. You get on that smartphone once again and you open up the app Gotham Air. For the one easy payment of $199, Gotham Air will pick you up in a Sikorsky S-76 helicopter in the middle of downtown Manhattan and take you over to JFK Airport, which is perfect because that Starbucks there actually carries the Trenta cups that you've been looking for. Now that you're at JFK Airport and you got your coffee, you realize that your feet are tired, and after watching everybody arguing with TSA, flying just kind of lost its luster. So you pull out your phone and you open up the app Relay Rides. Relay Rides is a ride-sharing app unlike any other because you don't just get picked up in the vehicle, it's your rental for the day. And for just $149, you get a beautiful BMW 4 Series to drive back to downtown with. So to keep this plot going, it's about 2 p.m. now that you've finally driven your car back to downtown after playing around in the city limits with it. Luckily, while you were waiting for your car to get to JFK, you opened up the app Grubhub and you ordered food to your door from your favorite Italian restaurant. So you're inside your apartment and you're eating your favorite food and you're watching Shark Week because that just happened and why wouldn't you be? You realize that you haven't gone fishing in quite some time, or even been on a boat, really. So even though you just ate and you should really wait 30 minutes, you decide to get back on your phone and you open up the app Get My Boat. Get My Boat is a Relay Rides version for boats. You can pick whatever's near you, what you want to charter, and just pay for it and go. So after checking it out and seeing the things in the harbor that are located close to you, you decide to choose a Genoa 49-foot sailing ship. Because nothing says richer than shit than sailing the Manhattan Harbor in a $269,000 sailboat. Finally, after relaxing in your private chartered boat all afternoon, because it can get tiring, you head on home and reflect on the day you've had and hope that in the morning you don't wake up back in the boonies where you started. Speaking of memories, let's recap real quickly just exactly what you got and what you paid for this ridiculous day of activities only through apps. First of all, we woke up in a $1.6 million apartment overlooking Central Park for $150. Next up, we had $120 worth of clothes picked out by a professional stylist dropped off at our door for $60. You called in an $8 million Sikorsky S-76 helicopter to come get you to take you to coffee for $199. You were delivered a $50,000 BMW 4 Series coupe to drive home in after you got coffee for $149. You had lunch waiting at your doorstep for about $20 through Grubhub. And finally, you chartered a $269,000 sailing ship for $225. Now, if you owned everything you use today, it would have cost you $9,919,140. But to use it just for today with just those apps, it cost you about $802. Which is still expensive to some, but that's cheaper than a family trip to Disneyland by almost twice as much. So that is pretty damn awesome. Anyways guys, that is it for this one. Let me know down in the comments what your perfect day would be if money wasn't an object. Let me know any other life hack apps that maybe I didn't throw in here, and I'm gonna go call a helicopter right now. So I love you all. Deuces, kitties.